We've all been talking about 1348X Voto for weeks since they made their MoDeRn agenda post attacking other developers simply for not wanting to put politics in their game. But while the modern audience has interacted with X Voto millions of times on social media, these people have proven once again that they don't care about video games, don't play video games, and don't support the creators who are pushing their narratives. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I personally try my best to go into these types of games open-minded, but it was extremely hard to do this time around because the social media manager for Xvoto was pretty loud, was pretty vocal. The actresses that are a part of this project have talked about LGBTQ representation and how they wanted to see themselves in their characters, but there were posts made by 1348X Voto over the past couple of weeks that have gotten quite a lot of interaction, actually. They have gotten a lot of likes, they have gotten a lot of reposts, and you would think, because this is the case, that they would be able to bring in quite a few people, that they would actually be able to get a lot of gamers in their demo, and that wasn't the case. And just for a point of reference, back on January 23rd, they said, don't forget to wishlist and note the release date on your MoDeRn agenda. It had 1 million views and 20,000 likes, but now that the demo is out, well, guys, it is doing abysmally. It has an all-time peak 19 hours ago when it launched at 102, and there are 89 players in-game right now. This is horrendous. You have The Gamer, Kotaku, Polygon, all the access media outlets running damage control for this game, talking about it, promoting it for several weeks, millions of views, hundreds of thousands of interactions, tens of thousands of likes, and it equals 102 people. That is atrocious, but also hilarious. Now, I did actually live stream this demo last night. It was insanely bad. Even like the cringe dialogue aside, when you know this game releases in 2 weeks, you can tell that maybe they shouldn't have spent so much on voice actors and actually paid competent developers to create this game, because the combat is bad. The enemies barely fight you. If there's a group of 3 enemies, they stand aside and wait for you to be finished attacking one. The visuals and the graphics are horrendous. It reminded me of the Gollum game. Okay, that's how bad it is. There is a lot of pop-in, a lot of texture problems. There are a lack of options within the menu, like you can't rebind your keys. It is atrocious. I do not know why they thought this was in an acceptable state to release, because it's a demo for a game that releases in 2 weeks. If this didn't have a release date and they said sometime in 2026, I'd say, okay, you know what, maybe they can like fix us up a little bit, patch us up a little bit. But the fact that they thought that this was an acceptable state to sell their game in is mind blowing. I mean, it's like Code Violet levels of scam, at least in my opinion, based on the 20-minute demo, which by the way, 20 minutes isn't even that long. It is not looking good for this brand new modern audience lesbian night game. They tried to make a title for a group of people that do not buy video games. And I know there are a lot of people who do say, well, this is the extent of the modern audience, which I do agree that the modern audience is small, but I personally consider like the people that go on social media and attack individuals and like that rabid group who defend these types of games tooth and nail as the modern audience. And there are quite a few of those people, but we know that they don't show up to support the product that they are demanding exist. And this is why we're seeing so many companies go under, so many studios fail. How many times can you make Dustborns and Reluteds and High Guards and Concords and 1348X Votos before you realize this shit doesn't sell? Hey, they're allowed to make it, as I always say, but I'm allowed to roast it. And one of the new trailers has been getting ratioed. It is not looking particularly good for this team. As you can see on the official PlayStation account that has 16.8 million subscribers, it has 20,000 views over the past day, 924 likes to 2.5k dislikes. They do talk about being queer in this. They do talk about LGBTQ. I will play that for you guys in case you're interested, even though I'm sure a lot of you probably will not be.
I really passionately want to tell LGBTQ plus stories. There's lots.
Again, I always say this, games like this are allowed to exist. If you want to tell as many LGBTQ plus stories as you can imagine, you go for it, but I am not required to purchase it. And clearly there aren't a lot of people who are going to purchase this game.
About the character that I've never had the opportunity to play before.
She's slightly genderqueer in that, like, people mistake her for being a boy and a man, and she's like, yeah, great.
It's not a coming out story, it's not.
I think what's so funny about this is earlier in this interview or discussion, they're talking about the historically accurate hairstyles, yet they're not talking about the historical accuracy of two lesbians during the medieval times. I think that that's quite fascinating. And in my opinion, I don't think every single game needs to be historically accurate, but if you're going to boast about historical accuracy, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm going to call you out every single time you do something that is the opposite. But yeah, they actually decided to turn the comments off because when I had streamed this, the comments were on and I showed these comments off. But yeah, now they're just hiding because they see the amount of backlash they are receiving. And to top all of that off, there are a lot of people who are now commenting on the Steam discussions. They are locking down posts. They do not want people to actually have conversations. I mean, this one clearly doesn't break any rules. They said, main character, can I play as a male character? And one of the developers said, no, you can't, and then locked it. Why the hell are you silencing people? This is why nobody is going to buy your game who is even maybe mildly interested in it, even if they don't agree with your political takes or some of the narratives that you're pushing, because you can get quite a few normies to give it a shot and give it a chance, especially if it's only like $20. We don't know the price. If this is over $20, it is a complete and utter scam. But yeah, they clearly just want people to shut up and consume product, and I don't think that that is going to happen with this title. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this situation. It is not looking good for them so far. The store data says they've only got 8,649 followers, which is abysmal. Nobody big has streamed the demo, and well, the best they can muster is 102 all-time peak in the demo for a game that allegedly had over 100,000 wish lists, even though that is a complete and utter lie. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.